Welcome, my YouTube friends, to another episode of Questions from the Truck. This is number 35. Where am I? I don't know. Out in Pennsylvania, up above Levittown. I don't know what this thing is behind me. The Tyburn Railroad is down the tracks a little bit, down that way. What this yard is behind me, I don't know. These tracks that I am standing on are abandoned. This thing behind me hasn't moved in God knows how long, but you don't care. Welcome to the show. Let's get to it, Jerry. Oh, we're going to try this. If you can see how I'm holding, I have my phone rigged up, you'd laugh. So that switcher that you see in the beginning of this video, I had to ask our very own HighBalling Hogger, because he is the master when it comes to all things locomotives. What that was, because I didn't know what it was. So I sent a picture to him, and Dale told me it is a Fairbanks Morris, 11 or 114 something. I don't know. It's a switcher, and that particular switcher was from the U.S. Army, and I guess it went a couple places, and it is now owned by a private individual. And that person has, I guess, not been working on it for whatever reason. So I checked the Fairbanks Morris group, and those guys knew about it, and they said it's been sitting for like 5 years. So, I mean, it's a cool switcher. It's kind of different. It's kind of like ugly, cool. You know what I mean? But it was cool to see it there. That's for sure. So thanks, Dale, for letting me know and letting everybody else know. No hands. What that was. And my next question is from Indian Head Valley Railroad. I'm cracking myself up the way my phone is. You guys, I can't even take a picture of it. Wilmer over there, he wants to know what error will I model and why. I think 80s to present, and the reason why is because I have some old Jeep 38s and RS1s or RS3s, I forget what they are. I had a lot of RS1s, maybe 4 or 5, I don't know, something like that. And a couple Jeeps. And pretty much all that stuff I never ran. It's all been sitting since the 80s. So, and I plan on wiring my layout DC and DCC so that I can run these old DC engines, because I'm not converting them over. I'm not spending the money to convert them. Just not doing it. So that is going to be my error. 80s to present. And he also wants to know, the high price of lumber, is that affecting my business and projects that my customers are doing? No, it's not, because I don't use construction lumber in my business, construction grade lumber. And it's construction grade lumber and plywood really that has really gone through the roof. I haven't bought any plywood lately, so whether or not my furniture grade plywood went up, I doubt it. So no, not really, thank God. And I'm busy. I'm actually very busy right now. Which is good. Thank God. Praise the Lord, because He takes care of me. Yeah. thank God that, well, I guess people are going to do projects. I mean, you see people doing projects, uh, home projects, and they're buying lumber. They don't care. We just saw Engineer Hole did a video, right? I will put a link to Engineer Hole's video in that corner. He just bought a bunch of lumber for his layout. He spent over $500 and some dollars on just construction grade lumber, where it probably would have been half of that, easy. And that's no joke. You guys seen the video that I did for your layouts and picking lumber and wood for your layout. And I talked about how 2x4s doubled and plywood doubled construction grade stuff. So, yeah, I mean, man, if you don't need to be doing your layout right now, you can save a lot of money if you wait, because it will come down eventually. I guess it's all these fires that have went on in the West Coast, and a combination of people home doing projects. And they say the average home price now, new home price went up like $4,000 or $5,000 just in lumber. So it'll come back down. So thank God it's not affecting me. Thank you for your question, Wilmer. Mystic Southern Railway. John over there, he wants to know, will trains be around in 100 years? Dude, I hope not. Only because I hope we evolve more as people in 100 years than we are. I hope we come up with a better way to move mass people and freight around than what we have. 100 years, dude, I ain't going to be around. Let me know. Let us know. Thanks for your question, bro. Oh, yo, what's up? Canadian Bubba, the Canadian Bubba. Canadian Bubba wants to know, do DPUs return with unloaded cars sometimes? So here's the thing. When you see trains, there's loaded cars and unloaded cars on the same train. Do they return? They may return. I don't know for a fact. And I don't pay that much attention, but I do see some numbers going one way and the same numbers coming back. Usually, like, how it works for CSX, I know, say 123 goes west, 125 goes, or 123 goes west, yeah. 124 goes east, okay? Sometimes I might see an engine that went west coming east a couple days later, or the next day later. So I can't answer that. Maybe our friend Engineer Hole can shed some light on the comments below. And my next question is Kory, AKVR. Dude, what's the AKVR mean? Let me know. He wants to know, what's my favorite short line? My favorite short line is SMS. It is in New Jersey, Bridgeport, New Jersey. They have the biggest collection of Baldwin locomotives, switchers, that I know of. I'm pretty sure around the country. Last time I was there, I counted 10 or 12 in various states of repair and operating. They have a ton of them, man, and I think they even had some road Baldwins. I'm not really up on that. Dale, did they make road Baldwin engines? But yeah, man, they have some cool stuff. I'm going to one day catch some video. They're hard to find. They're hard to chase because they're in and out of an industrial park. But man, they have some awesome things. That's my favorite short line. It's local. My next question is from Digger Evans Model Railway. Digger, I'm going to part two this because you got a good question. You always come up with great questions, Digger. See you in a snap. And just like that, I'm back. Digger Evans' question to me is he wants to know what was the first diesel electric locomotive to go into service in the United States? And what year was it? Digger had to do some searching. The first diesel locomotive to go into service was different than going into the first prototype. The first prototypes were 1917 to 1918, done by GE, and I think they did 4 of them, and they failed. They didn't run right. Nobody, they didn't like them. They were expensive, and they really only used them in big cities or high traffic rail lines. So they didn't work. And so the first real regular service was diesel locomotives, and they were used for switching. Diesel electric locomotives. And they were used for switching on GE and Alco went into partnership with Ingersoll Rand and made those locomotives. And I don't think they lasted long either. So that happened in July of 1925. And 10 railroads used them on 3 different lines. And around the Great Depression, that was done, 1929. Pretty much done after that. And then other companies tried it, and that's it, Digger. Thanks for that question, buddy. I appreciate your great questions. Another day, and some more questions. My next question is from Eastern Rail Production. He wants to know over there, why is CSX changing train symbols? I don't know, dude. This is what they do. They're, from what I hear, they're closing down Cumberland, Maryland. Why? Don't know. Just in case you ask. I don't know. And trains are moving around. Hopefully we still see the trains that we see. Because it's kind of crazy, because I looked, the train symbols have changed even on the board. Like there's a website, I'll put a link to it down below, under your question, where you can go and see the train symbols. The train symbols change there, and all the they tell you where where the train originates and going to, and yards that it works, so on and so forth. And it's like trains that would usually go to Cumberland, right, from Philly, now they're going to like Ohio somewhere. So they're going like, I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know how this deal works, how this system is, I don't know the tracks, but it just seems crazy, like that's how they get there. But that's how they get there, man. They go from Philly west, south, really, to Baltimore, and start going north. I guess they'll still be going through Cumberland, and they wind up working in Ohio somewhere. It's crazy. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. His next question is, when choosing a layout, which track is best to use? I don't know, man. You guys out there, let them know. And just talk to people, see videos, ask questions, and you'll come up with a track to use. I mean, best I could do, dude. And maybe put a comment below what gauge that you're thinking about doing, so guys know what gauge and that you're using, and a track that's good in that gauge. And his next question is, how long do saw blades last? Depends what you're cutting, man. Some last a long time, some don't. It just depends on the material you're cutting. But on average, for me, they last a pretty long time before I need to sharpen them. Thanks for your question, my friend, or your questions. My next question is from Humanity Junction. Heath over there wants to know, biscuits or dominoes? Which is better? Which is stronger? And which is better? I think it just depends what you're doing. Biscuits are just for really good for aligning panels so that they're all the same, so you don't get this when you glue panels up. Biscuits keep it in a line. So do dominoes, but there's videos out there, and I don't even want to go down this path because there's people who are going to say biscuits are strong, and maybe they are for what they do. But a domino is like a domino. For those of you who don't know, this isn't a domino, but it's long, thin. It acts like a tenon. It does do this, keep things in alignment, but it also adds strength to that joint, just like a tenon does. In my opinion, a domino is strong, stronger than a biscuit. Will biscuits always have a place? Sure, because not everybody, the domino system is not cheap, okay? Maybe once that patent goes away, there'll be other manufacturers making them. But a domino from Festool and the dominoes are not cheap, so not everybody can afford them. So the next alternative would be dowels. Dowels are pretty affordable. You get a doweling jig, and dowels are, you can make dowels for that matter, but they're really affordable. But to answer your question, dominoes for me. Biscuits, like I said, will always have a place. This next question, why use polyurethane glue? Dude, I know nothing about it because I don't use it. And I don't mean to blow you off like that, but I don't use it. I'm sure it has its place. I don't know enough about it. And like I said, I don't use it. Maybe I'm ignorant and I should try it. But from things that I read, because I was reading about it because I just, I didn't know enough about it, but it seems really strong. You can work it faster than wood glue. This is just one person's opinion that I'm reading online. I don't know this to be fact. Okay, I've never really used it myself, and definitely I've used it a couple times. Not enough to test it, not enough to know anything about it. Like I said, it has its place. For me, it doesn't have a place for me. I've done laminations too, like bent laminations, and I use wood glue. One of the things with polyurethane glues is they expand with moisture. Unless you have it clamped everywhere, it could expand your piece where it's not clamped. You have to be very diligent about your clamping with it. Hope that answered your questions, Heath. I hope that's it with my questions for the show. As always, I thank you all for your questions. I thank you for answering these questions below. Let some of these guys know answers to these questions. Don't just take my answers. You guys answer them. We need to hear from you guys. As always, I appreciate you all. Be blessed. Be well in the coming week. God bless you all. Until the next time. See?